Hey guys, so I just filmed this video and I just realized I made a huge mistake. So on my live stream the other day, I told Captain Redhead, who is a follower of mine, I'd give him a shout out, and I've completely forgotten about it for the past couple videos since then. So here you go, Captain Redhead. Here is your shout out. Marshall Johnson, aka OneRaceMovies Suck, aka the guy who's obsessed with Jeremy Johns. Yeah, I find it pretty funny he says people like me are obsessed with him, and yet he's made probably 50 videos on Jeremy Johns. Just a small little funny thing there. Basically, he's made it very hard. I've been considering doing this again. This is the final video I'm making on him, unless he responds, to which I'll respond back, obviously, but this is the final, I'm telling you, this is the final video on him. So, he's made it very hard. I mean, when you got video titles like this, it's kind of hard not to respond. However, this video right here, this piece of trash video, is not what I'll be responding to today. He made a video that is absolutely disgusting that I came across. And by came across, I mean I was informed about it by Altex TV. He actually told me about it, and it's awful. That's legit one of the worst, most disgusting things I've ever seen. At this point, he's as bad as NA Productions. I mean, I firmly believe that NA Productions is the worst YouTuber on this platform. Without further ado, let's watch this piece of trash.
What's up, man? It's actually really hot. I need to get the air conditioner on. This is not an important video, but I'm going to title this like one of my videos I titled before. I'm not going to call it part 2 because...
Hey, Marshall, are you awake there, buddy? I mean, like, just look at him. His eyes are, like, almost closed. Maybe he's afraid to look at his reflection. I don't blame him. In all seriousness, dude, why are your eyes closed? Like, why are they actually closed? I genuinely want to know. Come on, man.
Anonymous. And they use that V from Vendetta mask, which is really, like, geekish and dumb.
Okay, he's subtly done this before, but does he have a problem with nerds or geeks or something? Like, seriously, why are you insulting people by fans? Now, look, I get what he's talking about here, but I mean, the way he phrased that, I'm just curious, do you have a problem with geeks? Because he subtly insulted geeks before, and nerds. And that, I say, what's wrong with being a nerd? What's wrong with being a passionate fan of comic books? I love comics. Like, what's your problem with geeks, dude? They're not cool like you. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but you gotta get out of your fantasy world. This guy, I swear, this guy is worse than H3H3. Now, I know I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but I'm not a big fan of H3H3. I think he's kind of scummy, and he's a hypocrite. I'm really not a big fan of him. I by no means hate him. He's by no means a terrible channel. He's not the worst channel on YouTube. He doesn't need to be removed from the platform or anything. He's way better than this guy, but I mean... The point I'm trying to get at is something I feel Diesel Patches says best. H3H3, I feel like his fan base, which I have no issue with you if you're a fan of him. Film Attackers is a fan of him. I'm not, but... And I still follow Film Attackers and all that. I highly respect that dude. But I feel like some of his toxic fans, now, it's not all of his fan base. Some of his fan base, like Film Attackers, is very respectful. However, there is a decent portion of his fan base that's just actually awful and so horrible. I mean, again, I have no issue with you if you're a fan of him, but I mean, like, some of his fan base, man, they're kind of nuts. And another thing is, I feel like some of his fan base, he basically can do no wrong. He screws up like every few weeks, and then he apologizes in a really stupid way, and we forgive him, and he does it all over again. I mean, he insulted the Ian guy like a month ago or something. A month or two ago, a couple months ago, something like that. He insulted the Ian guy for no real reason. Him and Ela, they were both just kind of insulting this guy and showing how thin their skin is. I mean, yeah, the Ian guy wasn't very funny. I mean, he's the most entertaining part of that stupid stream, but anyways, like, and then he apologized the next day and everything's fine, you know? He screws up all the time. It's just no one really cares, you know? And that's not to say you can't be a fan of H3H3, but my point is, H3H3 says whatever he wants sometimes. I think he feels similar to Diesel Patches. I have a similar theory to him, to where He thinks he can just say anything because his fan base forgives him for everything, for no real reason. He screws up every now and then. He realizes, he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, you guys forgive me now, right? No criticism at all. I mean, again, that's just, so yeah, the connection I'm trying to make between them is that they both basically just say whatever they want. And look, it's kind of weird to compare these two because H3 is a million times better than Marshall. But, it's something similar that I noticed that I just thought I'd point out. And if you're a fan of H3, it's perfectly fine. I'm personally not.
The V for Vendetta mask needs to stop. I mean, with them it's fine, but I'm talking about for other things that people feel like, hey, let's be. It's a more of a one race group kind of movie.
Hear that, folks? V for Vendetta is a one race group movie. You can't like that movie because it's for one race groups. Yeah, Marshall, what is a one race group? I'm curious, actually.
It's not that good of a movie. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yo! He finally woke up. His eyes are open. It's a miracle.
But I heard them come out with their threats a lot saying, we're going to reveal this, hack into your name. It was a black guy who got fired from the police station because my understanding is he stopped a cop from beating up a person, right? But instead they fired him. It's one reason why I figure like I couldn't be a cop, because if I see a cop doing something wrong, I'm going to beat that cop's ass if I feel like the other person's in danger.
Oh, shut up. Don't act like you're some all-powerful man. You're not. You're a coward and a wuss in general. I would love to see you try.
I'm not going to be taking any kind of sides. I'm not that kind of person, never.
Not taking sides? I don't think I've ever seen a bigger contradiction than that. So let me get this straight. You're not taking sides, which is exactly why you titled this video like that. That's exactly why this entire video is just you insulting cops. You're really, you're not taking sides?
Not in any kind of group. But there's this, so my understanding, there's this black guy cop that did that, and they fired him. So he had this war against cops, and he shot like the chief's daughter and boyfriend,
I've never heard of this story, so I have no idea if this is real or not, but what? Please, get on with it, man. I am so bored. Your video's straight up unwatchable. Again, man, please write a script.
And there's this whole thing is on a hunt for him. It was all over the news.
All over the news? When was this? Because right now, what's all over the news are the riots and the whole George Floyd thing.
But the thing is but he was talking about, one of the things is, what this guy was talking about is the things he has seen from the police station and the racism, blah, 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 blah. Well, now, this is the thing, man. This is what one thing is I don't really understand about the law thing is where it's so corrupt. If you're driving and you bump into a police officer or his car, it's called attempted murder. You will.
That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna look it up.
Marshall lied. He was wrong, but Marshall's never wrong. He always tells the truth. He always knows what he's talking about.
I seriously don't even know why I'm surprised at this point.
Go to jail for attempted murder. Then my understanding is that they can get away with that. So, I mean, part of me wants to search that and see was anything like that. But a cop, damn. But I saw this, this whole collection of, they recently popped up on Worldstar, where there's this old guy, looked like he was waiting for the bus. You know what I mean? As in, he wasn't doing anything. Walks up, and these cops walks up and pushes him down on the ground with the shield. And
I'm not sure what story he's referring to. I've never heard of the cops pushing down an old man, unless he's just describing it wrong. But if that's true, that's sad. And yes, crappy cops exist. That's absolutely undeniable. It's facts. Crappy cops exist. It is a fact. And my guess is either this old man did something wrong, or was a felon, or it was just some crappy cops. And if that's the case, that's tragic, that's sad. Those cops should go to jail. However, Was that old man a felon? That's a question I have. Because I don't know, he's terrible explaining these stories because he has no idea what he's ever talking about, so I can't really take his word for it. And he doesn't give me anything to search up. All he says is they pushed down an old man. I can't search that up. I won't actually get a story.
Saw a guy down, and when she was trying to help him, she kept getting shot at, and it's as if they did not care and things like that. And other ones where I think it's strange, it's like they just do it like they just don't care. The news people are filming the incidents, and they're not in anyone's way, but they walk up to them and starts on letting their paint or gun, whatever, and start shooting at them.
What? I'm being serious. What is he even talking about now? Now he's saying a reporter walked up to someone and got shot at? First of all, where is the story from? Second of all, who'd she walk up to? Did she walk up to a cop? Because I honestly doubt she walked up to a cop and he pulled out a gun and shot at her. If that's true, that's tragic once again, but I mean, if she walked up to a terrorist, which I doubt even ever happened, but like, who are you talking about? Who'd she walk up to?
You know, it's kind of like my, video with this title like this, where I said, police officers are just gangsters to me.
Police officers are gangsters. Where's your brain go, man? Have you even ever owned a brain? Cops are gangsters now. Is that the logic you're going with? So, let me get this straight. The cops that serve and protect us every day of their lives and put their lives on the line, they're gangsters. Is that what you're telling me? You have to be trolling. This man has to be trolling. There's no way he actually believed this. I don't even believe him. There's no way he believes this. So basically, my cousin's a gangster. A lot of people in my neighborhood are gangsters because, I mean, there's a lot of cops in my neighborhood. So you're saying those guys are gangsters? Why don't you know what, Marshall, why don't you go up to a cop's face and say that?
Oh, I mean, honestly, the worst gangsters I see in the world are the police officers.
I hate this man. I really do.
I'm not ever going to my car thinking, the Crips or the Crips or the Bloods or whatever gangs they make, or the cartel is going to, I'm not worried about them just shooting at me for no reason. I'm worried about a stupid redneck cop shooting at me. When I say redneck, I'm not talking about white. I'm just trying to say like someone freaking stupid and things like that. I have had a gun pulled on me.
How much you guys want to bet that he's going to tell some story about how a cop pulled a gun on him, and he's going to play the victim card, and then he's going to use that to make cops look bad?
One time, I mean, I feel like going over it, but, I'm outside of McDonald's, waiting for it to open because I guess it doesn't, I don't know if it hasn't changed, but it wouldn't open up to 6 o'clock. So I'm just chilling, parking lot, in my car, waiting for McDonald's to open. Basically, I looked through my rearview mirror and I saw it had lights behind me. They asked me to step out, and right when I step out, I said, I'm tired though, and I said, what'd I say? Oh, my wallet's on the ground. I was saying just like that, And he goes, what? I said, my wallet's on the ground. And then I'm reaching for my wallet, and he reaches for his gun and starts.
See, what did I tell you? Also, yes, I took off the Batman hat.
I'm pointing at me. And I have family members where they had to deal with that, where somebody robbed some bank and they fell a car.
Wait, I got one more prediction. He's gonna say the cop is racist. Actually, I'm being serious. I think he's gonna say that. Let's find out.
It looked like but it was a different license plate. You ever see the movie? Next thing you know, she had several guns pointed at her. One more thing, man. And one more thing, like I said, every cop I met has shown to be freaking retarded, things like that.
First of all, that does not mean every cop in the world is retarded. Second of all, why do you meet so many cops? Maybe you're the problem.
One time, I got pulled over by a cop one time, and let's say, how do you say this? What happened? You have color to your skin, you have stories.
Seriously, what did I tell you? Did I not tell you he turned this into some kind of racist insult?
But, you know, I got pulled over and I forgot what it's called. I don't, like he had like a fine personality. The second time he came back, he seemed like he was trigger happy, where he started asking these weird questions talking about, you know, saying, I think he said something like Ionic 1 or something. I'm on Ionic 1 or something. After I find out why is he asking all these questions. And after the second time he came back to me, he started saying to me, have I ever punched a cop before? I was like, no. I was weird out. I'm getting these all like weird questions or did this to a cop or certain things like that.
Do you think it's at all possible that he was toying with you and maybe having a little fun, trying to tell you a joke? And the reason I say that is because I've been asked similar things by people. You know, there was one cop that, you know, at one point my dad was, he got a ticket, and one cop, he was the nicest dude. Anyways, and also, I can relate to that because one of my doctors, whose name I'm obviously not gonna say, he asked me similar questions one time when I was like getting shots. He asked me similar questions and he was having fun with me. He was making jokes, you know. He didn't ask me if I ever punched a doctor, but he asked me questions as like, have I ever taken drugs? That's one of the things he asked me. He asked me it last year when I was getting ready for basketball. Have you ever smoked? He was asking me these jokes because they were funny. He was joking. So is it all possible that the cop doing this wasn't trigger happy, but just a funny guy?
And he started asking me these questions about have I ever done all these certain things to a cop before. You know, the second time he came back, sorry I messed up the story. Basically, what I'm trying to say, first time when we came up, you know, when he pulled me over, he started talking to me, went back to his, police car, came back, and started asking me these weird questions, and at the same time, rubbing on his gun. And I'm looking at him, looking at him rubbing on his gun, and I'm like very confused. And why I'm being asking these questions, have I done any of these violent things?
Okay, never mind. Maybe he wasn't having fun with him. Maybe he was just asking him standard protocol questions. So, from what I can gather from the story, he was pulled over for some reason, and he was asking him protocol questions about violence. You'd have to say the questions, 'cause I mean, when you're pulled over, you're asked questions such as like, any weapons in the vehicle, any drugs in your vehicle or something like that. Yeah, you know, they ask that stuff because it's their job. So like, it depends on what violent questions you're talking about. Or A, he's trolling. B, the cop in the story is trolling. Or C, he's asking standard protocol questions and Marshall's too dumb to comprehend it.
Well, I got to the point where I was like, why, what? You know, I said something about, it's just kind of weird because you have nothing on your record, but you're on Ionic 1. I don't know the name of it. I had to go to my police station, and I keep saying Ionic 1. They actually cleared me up and tell me what it is. But I went by there every single time someone got shot by a cop, you know, a black person got shot by a cop. I went down there and said, I want the freaking redneck cop that put me on whatever this hell this is, I want it off your guys' record.
So let me get this straight. Every time you found out someone was shot by a cop, you went in to the police station and asked for it to be removed off their record? What? Do you not know what a record is? Is he asking to clear his own record or theirs? Because in that case, I'm like, why were you asking to clear theirs? It's none of your business. And were you asking to clear your own every time someone was shot? What?
Because every time, it can't remind me of that day. And every time I hear about another black person getting shot but randomly by a cop, I went down to the police station and said, I want my name off this, whatever this is. And by the last time, she, probably about the fourth time, the woman, you know, she seemed like she had tears in her eyes because she fully understood what I was saying.
Well, I can't blame her. If I had to deal with you 4 times, I'd probably cry too.
She said, I know what you're saying, but what it really is it just means you have been arrested before.
Okay, what I really want to know is, first of all, how did you not know that? Second of all, what did you think it was? Like, what did you think it was a record saying we're gonna go kill these black people? Oh, wait, please don't actually say that.
Doesn't mean that, you know, like I have been like arrested sometimes where I'll get pulled over and they're asking me if I'm high because my eyes don't like get all wide, and sometimes they end up getting cussed out and I get arrested and get let go within 30 minutes.
Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna argue with you. I mean, yep, it's definitely how it works. You definitely get let off within 30 minutes after cussing at the cops. That's definitely how it works. It's definitely not more complicated than that.
You know, so you know, I have, you know, in high school and things like that, it seemed like they were constantly trying to catch me for something. And I think, you know, that's what you have to deal with when you have color your skin when you're young.
What year do you think it is? I understand there's racist people in the world, but it's not just white people, and it's not just police. Yes, there's some racist cops out there. That's just common sense. But I mean, it's not every cop in the division. It's not every cop in the world, you idiot.
They try to get you at a young age. So it's probably putting the record is, you know, I'm this age now. They haven't got me for anything. So
what?
Let's just not do that. Because I used to get arrested a lot, but I'll be out in 30 minutes and I'll cuss them out the whole time.
And you're proud of that. You're proud of the fact you've gotten arrested multiple times and that you've cussed them out multiple times. First of all, I'm not buying this whole thing about you cuss them out and then letting you out within 30 minutes. I just don't buy it. I really don't. There's more to it than that. And I think you're either leaving some stuff out or you're just making stuff up now.
But it just means that you have been arrested before. So it was in that cop's head to think, you know, I'm on something that only means that I have been arrested before, but there's no record on me.
What do I even say at this point? Make up your mind. Do you have a criminal record or not? You need to decide, because that makes no sense.
Or certain things like that. And he was just a dumbass person, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, but I've always seen cops to be like gangsters, because to me, it's just like, how do you, like certain scenes where I've seen, one of the worst I've seen is it's probably easy to look up a transsexual. What does it mean where a guy is turn himself into a woman? Where had this whatever transsexual whatever
transgendered. Is that what you're talking about? Transgendered. You've been on the platform for a decade. And you don't know what a transgendered is? This isn't even a geeky thing. This isn't a nerd thing that only nerds know. This is something like everyone your age should know.
I just think it's strange when a cop does something like breaks the law, they have to go through like an investigation.
You think it's strange that they investigate to see if the cop is guilty because he may be falsely accused?
But if you do what that cop did, you'll be in jail immediately.
No, you won't. There's an investigation that sees if you're guilty, and then the evidence is presented at a trial.
To be honest with you, if I saw a cop get shot right next to me, I'm not gonna go to court and be you know, and rat that person out, because I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with you guys. Yeah, you probably did something racist to that guy and you got what you deserve.
Really? So, if a criminal shot a cop, who's the only person that can protect you, by the way, because apparently you're a felon, if a cop gets shot, you wouldn't care, even though he'd be the only person protecting you? Another thing, so let me get this straight. Cop definitely isn't doing his job. It's definitely because he's racist. It's definitely not because the guy's breaking the law. This is the kind of stuff that ticks me off, man, you know? These guys, are you aware that these people spend their nights and days risking their lives to serve and protect twats like you? Are you aware of that? Because they risk their lives every day. They do. Trying to protect us. And you just like, I wouldn't care if they died, you know? It's not like they serve and protect us. You are such an idiot. I can't even, like, begin to describe it. You're just a moron. You're not just an idiot. You're a retard. Like, you have no brain function whatsoever. This is the reason why I made this video. Because of what you just said right there. You are insane. And, Susan. Hey, Susan Wojcicki. Yeah, could you please get this twat off the website? And that's it. That's the end of the video. So, in conclusion, Marshall Johnson is a sociopathic moron, and he really needs a wake-up call.
You don't need to go to college to be a cop.